Oh, sorry. Hey everyone, it's Pajama Life with our review of MaulShadowLord, Daredevil, and Remarkably Bright Creatures. Let's go.
This has gotten so out of hand. Can you stop him?
Not alone.
I'm not carrying you.
Guess who's back?
So what's next?
Back again.
I'm gonna take this city back. This city can't go unchecked.
I feel liberated. Over medicated.
Hey everybody, it's Pajama Life. I'm Pajama, and this guy is David.
David, hey everybody, great to be with you tonight. Looking forward to talking about these programs.
This guy is
Patrick, hey everybody, great to see you all. Can't wait to talk about this stuff.
All right, so Daredevil, trash. It's complete trash. It was horrible. The ending was absolutely terrible. I didn't like it at all. It was very dark, and the bad guy won. The good guy is in prison, and isn't that like what we already dealing with? So that was just some BS, and I didn't like it at all, and I'm never watching it again, and it could eat a bag of you-know-what's for all I care. I was thoroughly disappointed. This is a wrong direction for Marvel to go in. If they're going to keep doing stuff that is this nihilistic, they could just shove it. David, what did you think?
Well, now to be fair, I heard a little bit of
fair.
Well, no, but I heard
Yeah,
a
you
little bit
do.
of Pajama's criticism before I watched it. So I came into this with an extra level of fascination as to what this is going to be. I do find the ending somewhat unsatisfying, but it's kind of like that middle piece of an ongoing story, a cliffhanger in some respects. So I kind of liked it. It does use a level of profanity that it's not your your PG version of the Marvel comics by any means. Captain America might not really approve of this, but great performances, some intense action, and a little bit of, it's frustrating where somehow the bad guy gets to go live on a beach for a little while as our hero is in purgatory.
Yeah. Right.
But I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to, I assume, season 3.
There is a season 3 filming currently.
Is it? Okay. All right.
It is currently filming.
Ooh, I was hoping it would trigger the boo. Pat, what did you think? Of course you loved it.
Well, I did like it. I mean, I guess I don't like my storytelling to be just all happy roses and sunshine and puppies, especially when we're dealing with complex subjects like the balance between power and vigilantism, which the whole arc of Daredevil's storyline is dealing with an individual fighting against a larger evil empire, as it were, for both in legal methods through the courts, because Daredevil Matt Murdock is an attorney, and through the extra legal methods of being Daredevil. So I mean, this is going towards a story arc which Daredevil did do in prison after he'd been revealed, and he has to deal with a lot of the people where he actually put into prison. You saw that through that little last sequence where he's walking down with his clothes, and he sees all the members of the anti-vigilante task force giving him the stink eye, as they're walking by with their clothes and stuff. So I mean, this is not like he's getting anything good. He's going to go maybe do some more justice suspension in the prison. I guess life is not all cut and dry. So there are going to be some
But
setbacks. There
this
are going to
isn't
be
life. This
downsides
is
to
a
letting
comic.
people win. So you're going to
I
have
mean,
you're going to have some bad parts. I mean, and this has been Daredevil's story arc since the second issue probably, where he's always conflicted about his faith versus his wanting to dispense justice, waiting for God to fix it or whatever, because that has been a very big thing. And you even see it a little bit in the movie, in the TV shows and the movies and stuff, where you see kind of him, always struggling with his Catholic faith about how, God's going to solve the problem, but God also expects you to take care of the problem. So, I mean, there's a lot of proper levels of conflict in this to make it really interesting to me. I
well,
understand it's not. I understand it's not all cut and dry like some people like.
and I
That
think
person
that
right there.
I think the problem with it is too, it just it like David said, it was very unsatisfying.
Well, there's a third
And
season, so
I,
Yeah.
well, y'all gonna review it because I'm not reviewing it. That's it. I'm done. And I don't think everything should be roses and butterflies and puppies.
How about
But
kittens? Can we
I
just say it's all about kittens?
kittens. But I do think there is room for good people to have good outcomes and bad people to have bad outcomes.
that's
Um
a
and
simplistic
so
view.
it's not a simplistic view. It's
It
that
is.
you want justice, and that's justice. Sending him to prison doesn't seem like justice. I don't know how that could be termed justice. And this being on a beautiful desert island where he was gonna go with his wife doesn't seem like justice at all. So if this is not going to display justice, I'm not having it. So it's a mixed review. Take a look. I think it had some really brilliant writing, some really great character arcs. And so the show is on another level. I just don't want to be on it. So take a look at, if you want to be depressed, take a look at Daredevil Born Again. All right, next up, MaulShadowLord. Very interesting ending, and we'll get into it. Let's take a peek.
I will show you the galaxy for what it truly is. Empire tried to kill me. Their betrayal demands consequence. And that consequence requires a weapon.
The Empire may be our common enemy, but Maul will never be our ally.
All right, we're gonna go first to our resident Star Wars expert, David. What you thinking?
A tremendous program. This was, in so many ways, and I read this, so it's not an original thought from me, but I agree with it wholeheartedly. This is what the Acolyte should have been. Because here we've had part of the arc of this story is you have the Jedi Padawan losing her master, and it's like her and Maul and the little comic relief con man thief guy at the end. Well done in many, many respects. I thought it was thoughtful. I love the different unique droid characters that we have seen in almost all of these animated and all the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
Whether it's Two Boots, whether it's KTSO, or even Ned, who was silent, Ned B in Kenobi. There have been some really neat, memorable characters there that's become a staple. I like that.
Chopper.
Oh gosh,
Yeah,
Chopper,
chop.
absolutely,
Oh,
he's
Chopper.
awesome. So I liked it. I would say the way that this ended is very similar to the way, in my mind, that Daredevil ended, because the bad guy gets away and the young person appears to be on the path of corruption, although that was certainly foreshadowed at the very beginning when she was stealing food of on the in the slums there at the so. But man, I enjoyed it. Keep it coming. Great to see Dryden Voss. Hasbro, we need a 3 3/4 inch action figure on him like yesterday. But I liked it. What about you guys? What'd you think?
Another BS show. This is like, what is going on with these shows being so negative? But my problem was, and I'm glad you brought that up, David, about the Acolyte, because there's a problem to me that, okay, so the Acolyte, and I'm gonna say that there was some racist stuff going on behind it, because people did not like that the one black woman, I guess, was a main character in this, and that's been a problem for a lot of Star Wars fans. But then you have and it's the same kind of thing, but that one got so much hate and so much disparaging comments about it. Whereas this is a very similar story of a young person who gets turned out by the dark side and then is now going to be tainted with this. And from what I understand, she does become a Sith apprentice in the, I don't know, that I heard of her as some other character that comes up later on. And who's Maul's like right hand. So I just am so disappointed. I mean, I should have expected it, but I was hoping that it wouldn't turn out this way. There is a surprise character who comes out who I was like, oh, this is awesome. And that one I see, and that person made a lot of sense to me to be in this series. That made perfect sense. But as far as people like really like lauding this and loving this and really despising the Acolyte for the same type of story, just sits very poorly on my shoulders. So I don't know if I'm gonna be watching this. I'm sick of these bad guys being the highlight of these shows, and we're supposed to now like cheer them on. That's some BS. I don't like it. Pat,
Well,
can you hear
okay.
me, Pat?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
You're
I
freezing.
did enjoy the surprise guest at the end. I don't want to give it away if you didn't give it away. I mean, that was the best thing about it for me. It was interesting to see, some I don't know what you want to call it, some post fall of Endor type of how it kind of went, or pre, you saw a lot of, I guess it would have been pre, where you saw a lot of characters you've seen. You got to see how the Jedi had to live underground, and it was a terrible life. Yes, you can be a paladin, but if you live in the slums and you need to eat, doesn't matter how holy and good you are if you die of hunger. So
but she was kind of trash anyway.
Sure, she was not your prototypical Obi-Wan Kenobi. And again, I believe that the universe has room for gray. It's not all black and white. There are people that are darker gray, some people are lighter gray. I mean, and it seems to be a theme here today.
What are you talking about.
seems to be this week here. We seem to be having a conversation about this. But I like stories that kind of reflect, I guess, the way the world works. And for me, is it perfect? Is it what I want? No, it's not. But I also understand that this is the way the world is currently. And sure, I want it to be better, but at the same time, I'm also enjoy stories about how things work. I guess whereas bad people sometimes win for a few minutes, but hopefully the arc of history curves towards right, as it were. And you may have setbacks, you may have stumbles, falls, but overall, hopefully we get better. And so I do enjoy stories that are just that show about how somebody has a stumble, somebody has a fall, but hopefully they get back up and keep moving towards the correct view, the correct outcome you're looking for. So I did enjoy this. I do enjoy overall the whole animated Star Wars universe. To be honest, I do like everything they've done for the most part. So, and the Acolyte wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. It was just kind of a weak series, which has nothing to do with about the story subject. But I just thought it was kind of weak. But I'm interested in seeing if they do another season of this. I will definitely watch this.
Yeah.
And this one didn't even have a Wookiee Jedi. So
it had a Jedi. It had a Jedi.
No, it didn't have a Wookiee Jedi.
Oh, he
Oh, not a Wookiee Jedi. I'm sorry, I misheard you. I apologize.
Yeah, and so without Wookiee Jedi to save it, it was trash.
But
But
the story, and I'll say this though, we talk about the Acolyte real quick before we get to another show, since Acolyte's like 4 years old at this point. Who was the lead character? Something like that. But who was the lead character in this story? Maul. Who was the most interesting, fascinating character, and what was maybe arguably the strongest performance? It was Manny in Acolyte. It was Manny with his character as the stranger. That if they had a theme around him, now no one deserves the any personal stuff that was taken, and the young lady absolutely did not. But it wasn't a great story. The writer and the directing really, and the decision making from the beginning to the end, put her in a bad situation. Just did.
Yeah, I think it was. But I think that there are some parallels, and this kind of trip to the dark side, I guess it is, to mine the stories, it's just getting a little tiresome. So definitely it is now, one thing I can say, it's absolutely gorgeous to look at. I loved the animation in this. It was just perfection. And even that last scene with the special person coming in, that was
the best part. That was the best. Oh my God.
It was amazing. So I give them their props on that. If they just switch up this story and just keep giving me this level of animation, which I wish would translate to, other properties, it's fantastic. So, but too dark for the penny. So, I can't give it a thumbs up, but go and check it out. If nothing else, for Master Daki, and the animation. All right. And finally, we got 8-legged therapy. Let's check out Remarkably Bright Creatures on Netflix.
Humans, for the most part, are dull and blundering. Of all the humans, I suppose I mind the cleaning lady the least.
I suppose you're the person they hired to take over for me?
I really need this job.
Circular motions, not up and down.
She's insane. It's all she has.
Hello, my lovelies.
She's been through a lot. The way she lost her son. Tell her I had a son. It's not my story to tell. I can deduce that the cleaning lady and the juvenile share a similar affliction.
I wish you could tell me how to move on.
I honestly don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I know the feeling.
There may be potential for mutual repair.
What the hell?
Go ahead. He won't hurt you.
Occasionally, humans can be remarkably bright creatures.
Okay. Pat, what did you think of Remarkably Bright Creatures?
All the performances super good. I thought Alfred Molina as the voice of the octopus, delightful. By the way, as a therapist for the stars, as it were. Good to see Sally Field still out there making movies.
Yeah.
The story was a little predictable. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was nothing revelatory, nothing to challenge my my opinions of the world or anything like that. So it was okay. I mean, I don't regret my time watching it, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't have sought it out.
Yeah, I thought it was yet again another dark kind of thing. I didn't know. I really didn't know the story. And I started reading the book, and I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was. I thought it was something else entirely. So after watching Maul and Daredevil, I was kind of like, yeah, dang, yet another another kind of story about grief. Golly. But I thought it was nice. There were some really great moments, some really tugging at your heartstrings. And I really love that it talks about getting older and having to adjust to what your older life is and being stuck in grief. If you've ever had someone close to you pass away, and you can't just get through it, and so that they do a really good job of talking about. The young man Cabret, I was kind of like, get your S together, dude. This is ridiculous. You are. I'm like, good gosh. But and then I was like, oh yeah, you find the most successful young person on the island who's got it together, and your ass is living in a van, and man, you lucky there's not a lot of young men on that little island park. I'm like, what is she doing with this guy? But it turned out really sweet, and definitely don't go into it thinking that it's kind of like a Muppety kind of thing with the little octopus. It's kind of neat, but I did love all of the octopus's scenes. He's just hilarious in what he does. And they used real octopi to design the CGI. So it's in some places it's a real octopus. So that was pretty cool. And I love stories, and my octopus teacher, if you have a chance to see that documentary, it's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen. So octopus are pretty cool, pretty wonderful creatures. David, what did you think of Remarkably Bright Creatures?
I do have to chuckle about the guy living in the van down by the river. He's kind of like a Chris Farley story with that. This was good. I think Sally Field is just an incredible actress, and I'm so glad to get for her to continue to see her in something, because she's fantastic. She has such talent. Neat story. I kept thinking about I think Olivia Wilde, I think, did this movie, and I couldn't help but think that this was a story that again reminded me a lot with the documentary, just because of the octopus. So it was neat to see, between that and the show about the alien that Alan Tudyk is playing. Netflix has got a lot of stuff with neat stuff with octopi going on there with it. So I enjoyed it. I think it was a sweet film, and I think if you're ready, take your tissues with you in some spots here. But it's a good flick. Maybe not as silly or as fun as what we might need as a palate cleanser, but nonetheless, I think it was a good, well done movie.
Yeah, definitely. And it's beautifully shot. There are some scenes in the aquarium that just look gorgeous. And so definitely the cinematography is just mwah. Netflix is really going all out for this. So, and I really think this should have been released in the theaters. I think it's really a theater level kind of movie. So, come out like in August or something like that. I was really shocked when I saw the quality of it, that I was like, why is this on Netflix? It should be in the theaters. So definitely, but bring your tissues for Remarkably Bright Creatures. All right, next week we'll have just a short session. We will review the new Punisher, I guess single episode kind of show that's coming out. So David, say goodnight to the people. Final word.
Everybody, thanks so much for being here. Glad you could chat with us. Excited about these programs. Excited about a lot of fun stuff coming up this summer. Star Wars and beyond. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Pat, say goodnight to the people.
Good night, everybody. Hopefully everything is going good for you, and I will see you in a week, I suspect.
All right. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Make sure you get out and vote. Take care. Bye.